gazebo over the top of Elve. They've put a lovely little bit of scaffolding there with a ladder. It's a lot nicer than it was before. And hopefully we managed to secure it. All the legs keep falling off at the moment. The idea is that we will put the gazebo up and he can do the roof work without getting wet, and trying to keep as much heat in as possible, because he's doing some fibreglassy thingy on it. What is it you're doing? What roof are you putting on, Dave?
GRP.
GRP.
But on a boat they call it sheathing.
Right. So that's our weekend plan. Hopefully the rain will hold. We've got some heaters to try and heat the inside of the boat up. It's got to be done above a certain temperature. So cross your fingers for us. Right, okay, we have the top of the gazebo up, which is going to be really good. We do have sides to put on. Dave is busy screwing screws into everything to hold it into place. I'm not actually sure how windy it's going to get over the weekend. Hopefully it won't, but we need to make sure it's secure. But it's looking good so far. Another video when the sides are on. Ralph's got the hump. He's really not very happy. He's desperately trying to climb in the van, but he can't get in because it's absolutely jam-packed with stuff. He even tried to get down the tiniest little gap down the side. Obviously realised it was trying to get square peg in a round hole, so that wasn't going to happen. So he's just really not happy about having to sit on a couple of bags and not be on a nice comfortable bed in the back of the camper van. Poor Ralphie.
Okay, so that's the great big hole we cut to get the engine in. I'm going to seal all round that, screw it down. Hopefully it'll take the curve of the roof, and then we've got a smaller one there for the other old pilot hole. Eventually, once the new roof's on here, I'm going to put two Houdini windows, they're called, and they're just a square hatch that you can escape from, and also when you're in the marina, you can stick your head out for when you're mooring and tethering up. Just gives you a little bit more vision.
So I've climbed up onto the top of the boat. We're underneath the magnificent awning that we've put up, or Dave put up. It's looking pretty good. It's been planing down the helm roof, pieced in a little bit. But I think that was where the new engine went in, and the bit of the roof had to be removed. All seems to be going to plan so far, which is good. I think there's some heat inside the boat, which should help dry everything off and make things bond when the time comes. Pleased with it so far, Dave?
Yeah, it's gone really well today. Yeah, I've got this little hatch to repair, and then I'll put the insulation on top of this, and then I've got to cap two big pieces of ply which I've got over here. I'm going to go on the top of this, pellet them together, but they should be okay. But I'm going to put like dowels between the two pieces of ply, so hopefully we don't get any cracking in the future. That's about where we're at really for the next day.
Do you think this roof will be done this weekend by the time we go home?
I think this one will be pretty much near ready for coating up. I'm hoping to get some GRP on it. It bonds together, the GRP, so if you leave it, you no longer bond together. You have to scurf it up so that it ties together with like rough sandpaper. Whereas if you do it at the same time, you get a few hours grace, and then there's a chemical reaction which sucks it down and bonds the gel coat to the previous layer of fiberglass, which I prefer to do, to be honest. But we have to see. It's all down to time and how the weather goes, really.
Sure.
Because it has to be laid between 15 and 20 degrees, is it? Or is that Celsius? I don't know, whatever. 15 and 20 degrees. Anything lower than that, then it starts getting into problems with setting and stuff. You can add a bit more catalyst, but a bit new to that sort of thing. I've done it before, but I'm still reading it every time I do it. So that's about where we're at.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, a little bit further on, managed to get the first sheet of ply down. I've managed to get the curve in it with the help of half a dozen G clamps and a bit of brute force. I'm using these Traxs screws, which have a little gap in the middle, which actually grips the top, grips the bottom, and then pulls them down nice and tight. I'm starting in the middle and slowly working my way out, screwing into the old roofing timber. It seems to be super solid. I mean, hopefully none of the screws pop through the fiberglass. Most of them are down pretty low.
So, like, how curved is that? Let me run along the edge just so that I can.
About 4 inches, maybe a little bit more over the whole shebang.
Oh yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
And then I'm going to put this. If I can find one that's loose. There's a loose one. So this is the roofing drip lead that I'm going to use. So rather than create this out of fiberglass, you can buy these pre-made different profiles. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut some of this off along here, and then I'll have the drip, which will look nice all the way around, and then the offcut will do the soffit. And in our soffit we've got a set of solar lights to light up all the decks, so it should look quite posh on a minimum budget. I think these things are about £9 each, and I think all the lights come to about £80, so quite a cheap little soffit that we're building. You could spend that sort of money on some pucker lighting, but you're not going to see these, and they're going to be solar, so they're not going to be draining our battery, and we can try and avoid falling off the little ledges that are around the boat once she's on the water.
When we roll in drunk.
I've never been drunk ever.
No, of course you haven't.
Not possible.
No, it's not.
Right, quick little video. I managed to get it all done in a day. Insulated, repaired the damage, done getting the engine in, insulation's in, 1 inch of king span, celotex, whatever you call it, jointed up the middle with pellets. Just got to shape it tomorrow. And if you look at this here, these are the little downlights that go in here. So they go all the way around the edge, and then I'll put a fascia around, then we put a GRP on the top, and we're all weather tight in the bridge, which would be absolutely fantastic. Whether I get it all done tomorrow, I don't know. There's an awful lot of detailing to do, probably as much work as there is now on the roof. It's just a big area. Today just working on the roof again. It's a bit of a task because of the bow that's in it, you can see. Got to get some big screws down through this corner. It's lifting up a little piece, a little bit. Made all the soffits to go on. These are going to have little lights in that shine down. This is the drip that's going on. I've just cut this section to this side. Push that round past your head. This goes along here. So I've just got to do a little bit of planing up, and then this sits on along this side here. And then we've got the other side to do in the front, and then we're starting knocking up some fibreglass to go all over the top of this, which I'm not particularly looking forward to, but it's got to be done.
Okay. Well, we're making good time, aren't we?
Yes,
I think?
definitely, yeah.
So
yeah, I think we're
good.
actually 20 days. We've only worked 20 days on the boat, so I'm really pleased with the forward motion. I think we're doing really well.
Good.
It's just chasing the weather.
Yeah.
As long as if I can get these roofs done, and we can just, if there's any good days, do a bit of painting on the outside, or and really important to try and get that welding done. I haven't heard back from the guy yet. I'm still waiting, but that'll be the next thing that I've got to jump on.
Joe's here as well, helping Dave. Thanks for coming, Joe.
Alright, no worries.
Yep. Lighting man extraordinaire.
I don't know about that. We're helping put the lights in, the little solar panel lights for the to go on the underside of the roof. So yeah.
Cool.
Just helping out really.
Yeah, just for the day.
Yeah, just here for the day.
That's good. Brilliant.
No
Thank you, Joe.
No worries.
Okay, little video of what we've been up to this morning in our tent. Got our heater blowing away. You can see the temperature gauge, can you? If I hold it up, there we go. If you can see that, So it's quite cosy and warm in here. Been working our way around the roof. All looks pretty good this morning. Just got to wait for it to dry so we can rub it down. Pretty much got all the sheathing off now. Like a canvasy stuff. And just put a resin over the top of it. They tack it down with little copper clouts, and then they put a resin over the top to make it waterproof. Proper old school. We're going with GRP, which is fibreglass matting, stranded matting, not the weave stuff. So they look a bit more modern and last a lot longer than what this would have done. This looks original, but I think modern stuff's the way we're going to be going. I've pretty much got everything up to a few little stubborn areas that I'll get up with a chisel, tidy away the tools, and then tomorrow start screwing down some decking. This is the mast support. I think it's a tabercle, I'm not sure. I'm going to cut this down because the mast was a lot higher, so we're going to reshape it. I'm also going to give it a bit of a lean backwards, give it a bit of a more modern look, just a bit of design really, on my own self, just to make it look a bit nicer. It's not going to be holding sails anymore, it's more of a feature. Probably put some aerials and stuff at the top. Obviously we've got a light to go at the top for the all round. When you're at anchor, we've got to have the light at the top. That's about it. Right, we're just about to start the decking on the roof. Everything's been cut into like the fish taily bit at the back, so there's no straight edges on the sides of this. It's got a gentle curve going all the way around. We're just about to start priming the GRP. We're going to prime the bottoms of the ply, and we're going to, while they're still wet, we're going to stick them on the roof and screw them down so they all bond on. Got to go and find a stick to do the mixing, and then we're going to leave little expansion joints between the ply, which we're going to put some metal banding over to so that each section of 5 foot can move a little bit if it needs to, if it gets damp or whatever. That's the plan. That's what we're going to do. Okay, another hard day working on the top of the boat. I've been working on all the corners today and the mouldings around the edge. It's taken way longer than I expected it to, but we do have a lovely looking boat roof. It bends this way and that way, and also curves. We've managed to bend the ply over and around everything. It's gone really well, and it's gone really solid with the resin that we use to stick it down. Stainless steel screws and pins to hold the trims, matting to go on, and then gel coat. We're going to put some bands across. We've decided to put bands across the joints for expansion. Hopefully it all goes well. I don't know if I can quite get this in shot with the camera, but the only way I can describe the look at the top of the boat is it looks like an Alfa Romeo's tailgate or boot lid. It looks absolutely fantastic. I'm really pleased with it. It's been a hard day's graft. Been forming around corners out of matting and some gauze. That'll get heavily sanded tomorrow, and I'll probably just put one more coat of the mesh on it. I can't see it to show you. That's the actual chopped strand, just a small 3-inch roll, 3.5 inch. If I can find it, this is the gauze that we use. 2-inch gauze. I can overlap it. This goes off like concrete, and then you can sand it down and get a really good finish with it. It should look absolutely amazing in about a week's time. And of course we're still chasing the weather. If I can get this done, I'm pretty confident I'll have the outside of the boat finished by Christmas, which will be absolutely amazing.